Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Benefits Trust. My name is Robert Crowder. I'm the president and founder of the Benefits Trust. We've been around since 1994, so quite a while. I used to have hair back then, so Zora's laughing because she remembers way back when. But anyways, we've been around since January 1st, 1994. We're a full-service third-party benefit administration company, and we work with you, the professional advisor. We work with you by helping you sell your end user clients, your clients' creative benefit solutions. Today we're putting together this Zoomcast, and this is part of a fall Zoomcast series that we're doing. We've done this for some time over the last couple of years, especially during COVID. So we've done it in the Zoomcast format as opposed to live seminars. But the whole vision of this, the whole idea of this is to be in a room, not with the smartest person in the room, but be in a room where everybody gets smarter. And that's kind of the idea. One of the things that the insurance industry does extraordinarily well, in my opinion, is share information. And, the fact of the matter is there is a ton of clients. There is a lot for all of us to deal with. And the more information we share, the more we can help our end user clients, the better off we all are. So the purpose of this meeting today is not for me to stand up here and lecture you, or well, I'm sitting, but sitting down here and lecture you. The idea is we share information and we all get smarter. And that's the idea today. So thank you very much for participating on behalf of all of us at the Benefits Trust. We want to thank you for your time today. At the end of the presentation, we're going to send you a real short survey. Please fill it out. Let us know how we did. We want to do better tomorrow than we did today. So your input is critical. As well as that, Mike Ignatz. Mike is here. Mike, give us a wave. Mike is going to send you a CE credit for participating today. We really appreciate it. And as a result of that, we've only have an hour. So let's get started. And if you've got your camera on, thank you very much. And if you don't have your camera on, I'd love it if you could put your camera on. It just makes it a lot easier. Especially, and now I see you're driving there. We give you a pass on that. If you're driving your car, please put your camera off. We don't want you to crash here. But please, if you've got your sitting in your office or your home or wherever you are, sitting on the end of the dock and in your vacation spot, please put it on. Anyways, welcome. We're here today, and I'm going to share my screen. If we could here, let me just share this. We're here today to talk about something pretty specific, and it's profitable clients in the building trades and construction industry in Toronto. We've got a very unique solution for this, but we don't want to, talk about our solution too much. We want to talk about knowing your corporate client in this particular industry, the building trades and construction industry, because it's unique. Without a doubt, it is unique. So our agenda today, and this is taken right off the FISRA website for eligible CE credits. We want to talk about a client needs analysis in this particular space. We want to talk about understanding risks and how to manage them appropriately, again, in this particular space. We want to talk about some of the reporting and accounting considerations. We want to talk about tax considerations, without a doubt, with respect to employee benefits and in this space. And then we want to have some time, hopefully, for some questions, answers, and discussions. Throughout the presentation, if you've got any questions, just jump on the chat box there. We've got Mike Ignatz and Rob Crowder, who will be my son, Rob, who will be answering some of those questions. Carrie Lane, I believe, is on the call as well, and she might be jumping in and answering some questions as well. But please feel free to answer some questions, and if we will also we will also answer them probably throughout the presentation as well. But we want to hear from you. So answer your questions, put your hand up, whatever it is that you need to do, and jump right in, because we all want to get smarter, and that's the idea for today. Point of view. We want to talk about the building, construction, and trade industry, without a doubt, because this is the fastest growing industry. This is the fastest growing industry in Ontario. It's amazing when you look at it. It's the fastest growing industry in Ontario. There's 10,000 businesses, more than 10,000 businesses in the building, trades, and construction industry in Ontario right now. The majority of which have less than 10,000, or sorry, 10,000. Yes, they all have less than 10,000. They have less than 100 full-time employees. So they're all relatively small businesses. When you think about it, compared to the Acons of the world and the Ellis Dons of the world, the majority of them are very small businesses. Right now, in the construction, building, and trades industry, there are 25,000 jobs open. So that's extraordinary. There are 25,000 jobs open right now as we speak. And this is going to grow to 50,000 by 2027. There's going to be 50,000 jobs open by 2027. 20,000 skilled workers are going to leave now, but between now and the end of 2027, just because they're retired or retiring. The other thing is there's going to be $1.5 million housing starts in the GTA by 2027. And when we look at the GTA, we're looking at the Toronto, we're looking at York Region, Peel, etc. We're looking at that whole area outside of in and outside of Toronto, and there's going to be $1.5 million doors being opened, shall we say, between now and 2027. In addition to this is an underserved marketplace by the insurance company. Their insurance company solutions really don't like this risk. So as a result of it, often they load this risk up if they even will quote on it. So the choices are limited. But this is an industry that is just has huge pressures on it. As I'd like to say, it's an industry with the perfect storm right now. Insurance companies don't like it. There's 10,000, so endless prospects. They're dying for people. They want to get people in their organization. And in addition to that, their rate of pay, excuse me, is extraordinarily high. The average earnings is about $65 an hour, right? So the average earnings is $65 an hour, which is unbelievable. It's just amazing when you think about it. So moving right along here, other considerations in this particular marketplace, without a doubt, is benefit purchasing decisions are made differently. They're made differently by this group, but they're made differently by this space. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but certainly take your blinders off with respect to how decisions are made, especially in this type of industry. We also want to say, we also want to cover today, how can we provide value-added service at a profit? It's important to be able to do this at a profit. And through this lens, we're going to explore this opportunity. But I think how we do it in a profitable way is we get to yes or no really quickly. When you're dealing with someone in the building trades and construction industry, you want to be able to get to yes or no really quickly. They are small clients, generally speaking, they're underserved and they're desperate. So as a result of that, I think there's an opportunity to make it very simple, to provide a quality solution and make it very simple for them and do so at a profit. So that's what we're here to discuss. A little bit of a disclaimer, if you would, before we dive right into this. As I mentioned, the Benefits Trust started in 1994. Our target market is really smaller businesses with less than 100 employees. We were doing a session yesterday. We had just under 100 people on the call, but we were talking that there are 440,000 businesses in Ontario with less than 100 employees. It's amazing how big the industry is. This is really based on our views and our findings and our opinions. I think in my career, since I joined or became licensed in 1988, I've probably had more than 10,000 sales meetings. So I'm coming from, some experience without a doubt. This is not a commercial for the Benefits Trust, to keep on side with FISRA. So don't look at this as a commercial for the Benefits Trust, because it's not, quote unquote. And again, we're focusing our comments today on the building trades and construction industry. I think the first thing that, regardless of what industry the client's in, it's important to do a client needs analysis. And why is this important? Why is this important? Well, it's there to protect you. And the client needs analysis is there to protect you, not because somebody's going to come and check on you. Have you done your client needs analysis like you would in an individual investment type of opportunity? But it's really there, in my opinion, is to protect you. And you have to know where your client is going. I think it's critical to know where your client is going if you want to be able to help them. Alexander, you're on this call here, and I got to know where you're going. I need to know what you're doing and where you're going in order to see if I can be of assistance. If I'm selling screen doors and you don't have a need for a screen door because you're not doing any renovations and not doing any windows or whatever the situation is, I can't help you. So it's important to know where the client is going, and it's important to do that to protect you. As I like to say, there are some clients that spend a lot of time to save money. Some clients spend a lot of time to save money, and some clients spend a lot of money to save time. I think what we're going to talk about today is that latter. It's clients that want to spend a lot of money to save time, and we're going to help them do that. And that's how you add value. But you have to know where they're going in order to protect yourself. And if you like where they're going, great, you can do it. And if you don't like where they're going, if they're going down a dark hole, you don't necessarily want to help them, but it's there to protect you. So the question is, how do we know where the client is going? Simple, we have to ask. Well, what's a way that we can ask? Well, the key thing is future-based questions. I've been involved with the strategic coach, Dan Sullivan specifically, for probably 30 years. And Dan came up with a question about 10 years ago that I've been using religiously in all aspects of my life, but certainly in selling employee benefits. And the question is quite simple. If we were meeting here 3 years from today, what has to have happened over the last 3 years for you to say it's been the best 3 years of your life? However it is you want to word that, you're putting the individual that you're asking that question out 3 years. And then they're looking back over that 3 years and they're saying, hey, I'm going to paint the future. And this is what has to happen for you to say it's been the best 3 years of my life. It's not your roadmap. It's their roadmap. They're telling you exactly what it is that they're going to do over those next 3 years. This question is going to separate you from every other advisor that's not on this call, quite frankly. Every advisor that's not working in this space, it's going to separate you from them. And it's a question, a future-based question that I think is just incredibly powerful. The results that you get from this question, whether you ask this question with your friends, whether you ask this question at a dinner party, whether you ask this question with prospects or clients, and you continually ask the question. And again, if we were meeting here 3 years from now, and you were looking back over those 3 years, what has to have happened for you to say that those were the best 3 years of your life? It's just a great question. The answers are going to give you that roadmap on where the client is going. They're going to give you that roadmap. They're going to give you clear, concise, and specific answers. They're going to tell you if they're going to grow. They're going to tell you if they're going to sell their business. They're going to tell you if they're going to merge. They're going to tell you if they're going to retire. They're going to tell you if they're going to enter into new markets. They're going to tell you all sorts of different things. They're going to tell you what they're doing in the next 3 months. In the next 3 months, we need to hire 10 more people to deliver the projects that we promised on time. Do you think you can help them with that? Do you think that's powerful information that you should know when you're talking to them about benefits? I would think so. So ask future-based questions. Ask future-based questions to get a roadmap of where your client is going. It's as simple as that. Next great question to ask, and especially in this space, what are your biggest fears? What strengths do you want to capitalize on? And what is what's giving you confidence looking into the future? 3 simple questions as well, but it gets them thinking about the future and it gets them thinking about what they're doing. Now, I've asked this question a lot, especially in this space when I'm working with advisors, and quite frankly, working with the tradespeople that have just done a fairly significant renovation on our home here. And when you ask what their biggest fears are, a lot of times the contractors that were at our place, because I was asking them this question, and it was funny because they had no problem answering me, especially because I was paying them, right? But and asking this question, what are your biggest fears? And every single one of them said having projects done on time. That's their biggest fear. Everybody's having difficulty getting staff in this particular industry, just like most industries. And their biggest fear is being able to deliver projects on time. The general contractor that we were working with, Grocon, up here in Huntsville, they are booking projects into 2025 now. They're booking projects into 2025 now because they have a fear of not being able to deliver projects on time, so they're not starting them or telling the people that they're starting them until an appropriate time when they can manage that that project, if you will. When you ask the question, what strengths do they want to capitalize on? Well, they all say their quality and workmanship. They're all working in very specific areas and their quality and workmanship. And it's interesting because our neighbors were building a place and we've been watching that process ongoing since it started. And the place is just finished and their quality of workmanship is not there. You can see it when you look through the details of it, but I'll tell you, the basement's leaking already, and it's only been 2 months, right? What's giving you future confidence looking into the future? Well, the reputation. So these are great questions to ask to find out where they're going, what their fears are, what their strengths are, and what is giving them confidence looking into the future. So when we look at client needs analysis again, this future-based conversation is going to give you a clear picture of where the client's going and whether or not you can help them. Simple as that. And if they don't engage with you, my attitude is next. There's 10,000 prospects in this space. Next, if they don't, oh, just give me a cheap benefit plan. I don't want to get involved in this. It's really about helping them, and it's about, you got to know where they're going to create a valuable and positive relationship ongoing. If you don't like where they're going next, if they don't want to engage with you next. An example of you don't like where they're going. I was working with a particular client, an advisor in Brampton, and the client was just saying, we want the cheapest benefit plan that we can possibly get, and we just want to keep the union away. We're going to look at the cost every single year. We just want the cheapest one we can find. And I just said, thank you very much. Next. So moving on to understanding risks and how to manage them, as we just trundle along here real quick. Understanding risks and how to manage them. Excuse me. A group plan is a benefit promise between an employer and a group of employees. Back to benefits 101. It's important to understand this so we can understand what the risks are, or more importantly, we can help the client understand what risks are and how to manage them. So when, it's interesting, I use the word promise. A benefit plan is a promise between an employer and a group of employees. I was in a meeting a number of years ago, and the advisor was talking to the client. The client was frustrated. He had leaning back in his chair like this. He had his arms crossed, and the meeting was not going well. And you could tell the meeting was not going well. And I interrupted the meeting, and I said, hey, Mr. Prospect, what is a benefit plan? And he goes, it's what we're talking about today. It's life insurance and drug coverage and so on. And you can tell he was frustrated. And I said, no, a benefit plan is a promise. And I don't know, I have no idea where this came from. It was just one of those things in my head. A benefit plan is a promise between an employer and a group of employees. And then I just shut up for a moment. And all of a sudden, the light went off in his head and his body language changed. Right? I often think we as advisors are translators. We need to translate things that, things that we use or language that we use in the insurance industry and translate into English. So all of a sudden, that promise, that light went off in his head. It's a promise that he makes in this particular case. It's a promise that the client makes to its employees. It's a promise that the company makes to its employees. And when I'm looking at the folks that are, here with us today, and, Lauren Curry's in the room with us, and Lauren, it's a promise that you are making to your employees. So Lauren, here's the pen. What do you want to promise? There's an element of freedom that all of a sudden comes across the client, and they're going, oh my gosh, I'm in control. I own this business. I can make whatever promise it is that I choose to. So often, again, as I said, we're translators. So I like to say there are two different types of promises that you can make. It's as simple as that. Oh, good. There's only two. I understand that. That's great. There's two different types of promises that I can make. Well, one is a low frequency, high cost promise, and one is a high frequency, low cost promise. And they're going, all right. So a low frequency, high cost promise is a promise that needs insurance. It's as simple as that. It's a promise that needs insurance. And when you think about it, right? Sorry, I'm on the wrong page here. When you think about it, a low frequency, high cost promise requires insurance. And, we've really got limited options and amounts due to the client size because of group life and AD&D and long-term disability and critical illness and out-of-country emergency travel coverage and stop loss. Those are types of things that really need that high cost. It happens very infrequently that somebody's going to die or somebody's going to die as a result of an accident. But in addition to that, it's high cost, but it happens so infrequently. So we need to have insurance to protect against it. When we look at the, excuse me, when we look at the opposite, the high frequency, low cost promise, it really requires budgeting on the client's behalf for extended healthcare claims. How many people are going to, go to the dentist in the next 12 months? I certainly am going to go to the dentist in the next 12 months. Daniel, you're on the beach right now, but you're going to go to the dentist in the next 12 months. But somebody, everybody in this room is probably going to go to the dentist in the next 12 months. So that's not really a high cost thing. It's really more of a budgeting item. So when we look at this, understanding risks and how to manage them is we look at what's available in the marketplace. So the client understands that they're making a promise. The client understands that there's really two types of promises that they can that they have to make, right? It's either a high cost, low frequency promise or a low cost, high frequency promise. And what are available in the marketplace? Well, insurance companies have a number of solutions. Depending on the size of the case, they've got a number of solutions. And they're generally speaking, they're small packaged products that, I used to call it the Great West Life Select Pack, but that doesn't exist anymore. I don't even know the names of them that much anymore, but all of the insurance companies have them. But they don't often like risks of trades. They don't like risks of trades for whatever reason. Also, there's a lot of third-party administrator solutions out there. I know my friends at Benefits by Design have some great solutions, and Benicade have some terrific solutions, and we certainly do. But it's important to know the unique spins on these solutions and how they will apply to your client's needs. But the question is, how do you serve this marketplace profitably as well with quality products? And I think the answer is you've got to be able to understand the commonality of this particular industry, the pressures that they're having. And the pressures that they're having, as we discussed, is staffing. The pressures that they're having are delivering solutions on time to their clients. The pressures that they're having is their staff are going to be poached and go to large union shops like the Acons of the world and the Ellis Dons of the world. You want to be able to service this marketplace profitably, and you want to be able to minimize the time that you spend on the solution, and you want to be able to lead the client. Remember, you're the expert, so you want to lead the client to the solution that makes sense. I really believe that this is kind of a one meeting sale type of scenario in this particular industry. The reason why I say that is understanding the risks and how to manage them. Builders know today. You can talk to any builder. They know today exactly what a 4x8 sheet of plywood costs today. They know what a skid of, or whatever you call them, a skid of 2x4s, costs today. They know what those costs are today, and they know what their costs are on an hourly basis. They know how much every single person is making by the hour, and they know what their costs are by the hour. That's something that they know. So what we've done is we've created the builder's benefit plan specifically for this industry. It's something that they can jump on, that they know, that they feel is important and for them. And one of the things that they know is they know the cost by hour, without a doubt. You can talk to any builder of any site and they know exactly what the cost per hour is for them to be on that site. So one of the things that we've done is we have I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to ask you to share, Rob. But one of the things that we've done is we've created a benefit plan. Again, our unique spin on it, but we created a benefit plan that helps builders make decisions effectively because the pricing is done by the hour. So it gets them to yes or no real quick because the pricing is done by the hour. So Rob, I can see that. Can everybody else see that? Feedback? Anybody?
Wonderful.
Yep. Everybody
Perfect.
Else? Okay. So Rob, why don't you take us through this real quick? This is the website, the Builder's Benefit Plan.
Wonderful. Thanks, Rob. Yeah. So as Rob mentioned, we have a dedicated website for the Builder's Benefit Plan. Acts as a great landing page to go over all the key features of the plan. It has all the resources available for download, as well as the application docs and any marketing pieces. So the first bit here, as Rob was saying, the builders know their price per hour. We've priced it out per hour for the mandatory benefit for as little as 20 cents an hour per person. We've done this on a more of a conceptual basis. We will bill on a monthly basis for $33 a month for this portion, but we've done this to kind of help them understand that it is as little as 20 cents an hour. So the only mandatory benefit is a $650 a week accident income replacement indemnity and $100,000 of AD&D. And then there's the ability to add on drugs, dental, travel, critical illness, and much more. And I'll dive a bit deeper into that in a second.
So Rob, if I could just interrupt there for one moment. When talking to the builders, when we were putting this together, when talking to builders, we were asking them, Rob, can you just go back down to the first page there? Yeah, thanks. When we're talking to builders and putting this plan together, one of the things that they said is the most important thing is, one of their frustrations is people get sick, or people, sorry, not get sick, they get hurt. A lot of builders get hurt, and they get hurt off the job. Not on the job, they get hurt off the job because they're always helping their friends out with various things. If they're an electrician, they're helping their friends, wire their shed or shingle their roof or whatever it is. And they also play pretty hard and they get hurt. And when they get hurt, they can't come to work, right? And a builder's biggest fear is they want to be able to pay their employee for those 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 weeks off when they're off, so they will come back when they're better. That's a big fear. How we got to keep this person on the payroll so they can pay their rent, they can pay their mortgage, they can pay their car payments, whatever it is. So what we did is we put in an accident income replacement of $650 a week for 52 weeks. So starting on day one, if someone's injured off the job, they're going to get $650 a week for 52 weeks. The other thing that was important, while I was watching these guys put windows in at our place, they're putting in these 400-pound windows or 350-pound windows, and they're walking on a scaffolding that's about this wide, and they're 3 stories up over rock. And I'm watching these guys, and I had to leave. I actually had to leave and come back because I couldn't watch. But one of the things that a lot of these guys said to me when I was doing my research and putting this plan together is they said, we want a meaningful amount of insurance. God forbid if somebody dies, either on or off the job, it doesn't matter. We want to be able to deliver that particular spouse or partner a meaningful check, not just a $25,000 check, a meaningful check. So we set up the plan to say, let's cover those 2 things as a mandatory benefit, a $650 a week income replacement and a $100,000 AD&D benefit. The rest, they can build on their own. It's entirely up to them. Rob, sorry, over to you.
Nope, awesome, thank you.
Actually, can I interrupt for 1 second, if you don't mind?
Daniel,
If this is paid by the employer, this would be a taxable benefit at time of claim, right? But if it's paid by the employee, it'd be tax-free. Is that how this works, or is it totally different?
No, it's totally different. This is actually it's an AD&D product, so it's paid by the premium would be taxable,
Okay.
which is tiny, but the benefit is paid out tax-free.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Great question, Daniel. Thank you for asking. Sorry, Rob.
Nope, not a problem at all. So scroll down a bit more. I'll go over this pretty quickly. After you can go check out the website, I'll kind of get into the meat of it in a bit. But the plan advantages is it's powered by the Benefits Trust. So we pick up the phone, take customer service very seriously. Ability to add a healthcare spending account, great customization. So scroll down a bit more. It's got an FAQ section, so you can go through, answers a couple of great questions about this. Sometimes a lot of employers these days will do their own research in Google, so it's a great kind of landing page to answer questions they might have before they contact you, the advisor, for more in-depth chat. So as I mentioned, everything's available right on the website, so you can download the overview and enrollment form. So I'll click that. I've already got it downloaded. And then it brings us right to our PDF, which can be a great sales tool to use when you're speaking with a client. So again, this hits some of the main points, just like on the main page of the website. $650 a week, 100K in AD&D, and the option to add more, as little as 20 cents an hour.
And again, the idea on this, the pricing is 20 cents an hour, and it's really a marketing positioning tool for you to get the client's attention, to get the prospect's attention, saying, hey, this is going to cost you 20 cents an hour. Let's talk. And they're going, wow, we can afford that. That's a shoulder shrug. Sorry, continue, Rob.
Not a problem. Yeah, so that's based on 2,000 paid hours per year, and everything is billed up monthly. So a question you might get a lot is, do we price it out per hour? No, the answer is we bill it at $33 an hour for the essential benefits, which again include the $650 a week for 52-week accident income replacement and the $100,000 of AD&D. So this is the only mandatory benefit. Then the company has the ability to add on extended healthcare, dental care, critical illness, life insurance, virtual health, and a healthcare spending account. So our extended healthcare, we build it out at 40 cents an hour or 90 cents an hour for family, which actually comes in at $66 and $151 a month. I'm going to show you our quick quotation tool after that. So skim over the pricing pretty quickly, and then we can kind of delve a bit deeper into that momentarily. So the extended healthcare, it comes with a prescription drug card, 80% copay, $5 dispensing fee, mandatory generic substitution with no hard cap limit. Also comes with semi-private hospital room care, $150 a day, maximum 30 days per year, and out-of-country emergency medical, 60 days of travel with Green Shield Canada. So a great drug card, hospital room coverage, and out-of-country emergency medical. So lots of stuff that majority of people will use. Then we have the ability to add dental care on, priced out single family depending on, and it's for basic and endo-perio dental services, payable at 80%, maximum $750 per person, and $2,000 for family with a standard 6-month recall. So very standard dental care, most routine cleanings and preventative services, chipped tooth, that type of thing. And then we have the ability to add a healthcare spending account to layer on top of that. Our kind of philosophy was that most people will use a drug card and find that very valuable. Most people will use dental care, as Rob mentioned. Most people will go probably twice a year, find that very valuable. But then after that, everybody else's needs are very different. So then we have the ability to add a healthcare spending account on top of that for all of the other individual needs that the end user client might have.
Is there a cap on the drug plan
$1 million.
per certificate or
Per certificate.
$1 million? Okay.
So there is $1 million lifetime cap. We've never had anybody come close to that. We've had a few. We've got $120,000 claims, but nowhere close to that. But it's a real benefit as opposed to a $5,000 cap or a $10,000 cap.
Perfect. So then we also have the ability to add critical illness onto the plan, $28.25 a month, flat $25,000 payout with Chubb insurance. I can get to that a bit later, and the ability to add life insurance, virtual healthcare, and an employee assistance program. So basically, there's a lot of great options that they can kind of put on. Only mandatory benefit, the essential ones right here, and then you can build different classes, and I'll kind of get into that a bit later on. So the next piece we have right here, it goes into kind of 3 different plan designs. When we first launched this a few months ago, we had a broker bring this out to the job site. He kind of explained very high level the first key points, the essential benefits, went into this part, explained each part here, and then showed the business owner the next page, went over the few different kind of plan design options, and the business owner pointed at the best and said, I want the best for all 12 of my employees, and then I want to add a healthcare spending account on for my brother and I, who are the 2 business owners. So it really kind of helps explain how you can kind of build your own plan that way.
Yeah, it was really interesting, Rob. If we just go back to that plan, he just goes, the best plan, and the cost per hour was, the cost per hour is 87 cents per hour per employee and $1.84 an hour, less than $2 an hour per family employee. Just goes, yeah, that's easy. That's in my budget for sure.
So it really helps. It really gives them the freedom to understand that they can build the plan based on their needs and change it if needed. So this talks about the plan advantages, talks about the benefits trust and how everything is very simplistic, quick claim turnaround time, makes it very easy for them. Participation guidelines, we needed a minimum of 3 people, including the owner, to start up a plan. Eligible employees must work a minimum of 24 hours per week. We understand that some of these jobs can be a little seasonal, so it 24 hours on average over the year. Part-time employees can be covered with just a healthcare spending account. We could set up a new class for them. We can have a standard 3-month waiting period on, which they can choose to waive if they'd like. Coverage ceases at age 70. Healthcare spending account contributions must be fully employer funded, and just goes on a bit about more of the plan guidelines. Here we have a pre-existing condition exclusion. This is for the drug card. If someone has taken a prescribed drug or drugs exceeding $1,500 in the 6 months prior to be joining the benefit plan, then they'll be covered up to a limit of $2,000. Kind of using that analogy, if the house is already on fire, you can't really buy insurance for it. So we have it very clearly laid out here. And then it talks a bit about the critical illness benefits and the pre-X on that. I won't go too deep into that because I'm going to kind of hop over to the costing page now.
The
This
pre-X
talks-
on the drugs, is
Yep.
that would be only for something that's pre-existing at that time. Anything that's new after the fact would be covered?
100%.
Okay.
Well, actually 80%. It'll be covered. It'll be covered at 80%. Yeah. If somebody's taking a drug, if somebody's got MS right now, well, chances are they're probably not working on a job site, but it might be a spouse or something. But if they're taking MS, you can't buy insurance for that drug. Right.
Okay. And what's the coverage if it's, sorry, I know it's mandatory generic, but if somebody has an option or it's prescribed as you know what I mean? The
Biologic.
No substitution.
no
Yeah,
substitution. Yes.
We'll
How would
pay.
that-
We'll pay for the. We'll pay up to the generic price.
Okay. Difference paid by the employee. Perfect.
Another question, in one further up in your document, you said no medical questionnaires. Where do they catch the pre-existing drugs? Is that on the first claim?
On
And
the
then
first-
they investigate?
On the first claim, correct.
Okay.
Thanks, Gord. Great questions.
Perfect. So this just explains the healthcare spending account. Really quick and easy, helps the business owner kind of understand. As I'm sure all of you know, it's a great tool. Any CRA approved medical expense can go through, and it gives great cost certainty for the employer at the end of the day as well. Just another bit of an FAQ section, talks about our app, very simplistic claims adjudication, very simple. Talks about the benefits trust. And right here, we have my name pre-filled in this, but I'm also happy to pre-fill any of your name and contact information in here as well. Remove mine, and we can put your logo right here as well, so you could use it as a sales tool. If that's something you're interested in, please send us an email, give us a call. I'd be more than happy to pre-fill that for you and have a chat about that. So the next piece we have
Hold on
is
a second, Rob, if we can go back to that just real quick.
Yeah.
One thing that really, I want to point this out, go up one page, the 5% we do real well. This has been really reassuring for a lot of people that we've spoken to. As I like to say, we do the 5% extraordinarily well or extremely well. Everybody, like I deal with Rogers. Wahoo, there's my Rogers phone, right? Or my iPhone with Rogers service on it. It rings. I can send you a text. I can, send an email. 95% of the time, it works really well. Until that one time, when I have to deal with their billing department, or I have to change my son's on this call, or my son's on my phone plan and he needs a new phone because he broke his or something. And he lives in British Columbia. Well, what a pain in the neck it was for me to get, or for him to get a new phone. So you have to deal with the organization. And what I say is we do that 5% extraordinarily well or extremely well because we answer the phone. And this gives a lot of people that we've been dealing with, what's the word? It gives them a lot of comfort. So they know that problems do arise, pardon me. And when all they have to do is pick up the phone and we can make that problem go away. It's as simple as that, or give them a great explanation on the reason why that exists. So we can either make the problem go away or tell them why, it's a problem for them, but what we can do to solve that problem. It's as simple as that. And that gives people a lot of reassurances. We pay claims quickly, we do our job, we send out the bills on a monthly basis, we collect from them, etc. All that works 95% of the time really well, but it's that 5% when they've got a problem, they can call us. Simple as that. Rob, sorry to interrupt.
No, perfect. Thanks, Rob. And it really just helps the business owner. You can train the business owner that they won't get many questions about the plan, or if they do, they can train their staff to give us a call and let them focus on their business. That's a big fear sometimes is they go, if I set up this plan, am I going to get lots of questions about it? But we have employers that go, they love sending their employees to us because they know that we'll pick up the phone, make it very simple for them to understand. So now I'm going to go over a quick quotation tool that we have for the Builder's Benefit Plan.
So
Really helps get to yes or no very quickly with the business owner.
Because the first thing an advisor, the first question that a builder is going to ask is they go, okay, great benefits. What does it cost? Fantastic. 20 cents an hour. Let me show you.
So right here, we have the mandatory coverage for all the employees. For this example, we're going to do a 6 life group, 6 employees and 1 business owner. So 6 right here shows the monthly premiums right there. And then we're going to go with 2 single for a family.
And they want,
single for family.
and then Rob, the only other benefit that they want in this particular case is critical illness. They want critical illness for everybody.
And then we're going to go, the business owner wants to give a $500 healthcare spending account for each of the employees. But the business owner in this case, we're going to think has a young family. So they want a $4,000 healthcare spending account for themselves and the rest of their family. Auto calculates everything, shows the administration fee, 15% on the healthcare spending account. Scroll a bit further down and it shows line by line how much each benefit is. And then you can go back up and change on the fly. If the business owner goes, oh, that's a little much. I wasn't expecting to, I don't want to spend quite that much. You can change it. Or on the flip side, you can increase it really quickly as well. It's a great tool to, sometimes when you can have this on a Zoom call, you could bring your laptop right to the site, do it right on the spot, get to yes or no really quick. Sometimes you'll have a business owner that sees how you do it. They kind of understand how it works. They might ask you to send them the calculation worksheet so they can go home and kind of look at their expenses and play with it. So it's a great tool that way, because again, yes or no very quickly, and it really helps them conceptualize on how much the monthly premium will be. Perfect. And then we have all of our application docs available right on our website. I won't go into that in too much detail right now. Very, just like every other application doc out there, very simplistic to understand. Fillable PDF form. Have all of our enrollment forms on the website. They can fill them out via PDF, or you could print them out and take pictures.
Rob, go back to the website, please.
Yeah. 1 second.
Yeah, so right on the website, it says just apply. Oh, there we go. So it's got all of this on the website. Very simple, straightforward, fillable. I also want
Very
to,
straightforward.
yeah, I also want to
Go
point
ahead.
out I also want to point out the commissions for this, because I understand that you guys are paid by commissions. Pardon me, the commissions are 10% on all lines of benefit except for the healthcare spending account, of which that's 5%.
Wonderful. Let's scroll down a bit further. You can separate up per class, as we mentioned, so you can do different amounts for different employees. Look at the groups within the group. Go back here.
So you might want to have your foreman or site supervisors a little bit different, a little bit more benefits. So it's entirely up to you.
You do it based off of time served. If that's for an employee retention strategy. If you've worked for more than 2 years and you get 1,000 in your healthcare spending account, 4 years you get 2,000. You can kind of increase it. We've had a few companies do that, and they quite like that option.
So all this is available. We can personalize it with respect to, the, pardon me, let me go back. We can personalize it with respect to your name on it. And it's entirely, entirely up to you. So understanding the risks and how to manage them, this is a fully pooled benefit or fully pooled product, which means, it's not a budgeted ASO solution. It's a fully pooled product. And the costs will be changing on a global basis on the anniversary of the plan. So they change, for example, they're going to be changing, I believe, every January 1st, not this January, but the following January. But if somebody signs up in February, they will have that rate through the end of their 1-year term, and then it'll change accordingly. The idea on this, again, is understanding risks and how to manage them. It's about showing them that there's a solution that is built for them, that they can build according to what their requirements are, even though they've only got, in Rob's example, only 6 employees or 8 employees or 12 employees. They can build the plan according to what their needs are. You can get to yes or no quickly. Again, the first thing they're going to go is benefits. We've looked into this. They're too expensive. Great. It wouldn't be a waste of our time to meet. Or benefits. Yeah, we want, we can do this for as little as 20 cents an hour. Oh my gosh, you're kidding. Let's talk about this. We wanted to make it easy. As Rob said, you can use your, laptop and a hotspot on your phone and do it on the back of their pickup truck. You're just showing them. The first thing they're going to do is go, great, what does this cost? Well, you can work out the cost right on the spot. So it's easy and straightforward. The client sets their own budget, and there's no guessing and no game playing, as I like to say. Especially when the client sets their own budget. You know, it's their budget. It's not your budget. It's not you making a decision saying, hey, you know, here are three different proposals and choose one. The client is setting their own budget. They're building their own plan according to what their needs are and cost per hour. The healthcare spending account creates a great deal of budget certainty as well, because the core benefits and the health benefits and the dental benefits are fairly restrictive and they're quite basic. Those you know, the ancillary items like things like paramedical services and so on are covered through a healthcare spending account, but that creates that budget certainty. So clients like the idea of budget certainty. It takes a, you know, gives you a great opportunity to answer the question, oh, all you're going to do is raise my rates next year. Not necessarily so. And again, as we talked, the annual renewal happens obviously on their anniversary, but these rates are locked in place for a full year. And again, the budgeting is based on hourly cost and ease of budgeting. So it's kind of a unique product. It's uniquely positioned for the building trades and construction industry, without a doubt. Taxation considerations: all benefit plan costs are tax deductible business expenses. We all know that. Extended healthcare benefits and dental benefits are received tax-free. This is a powerful benefit. It, you know, creates part of compensation. As well as that, it gives the builder, the renovator, the guy that owns the trade, but the person that owns a trade company, pardon me, you know, the ability to give their employees, you know, benefits in a tax advantaged way. They're not paying for these things out of their pocket. It's great. For a business owner, 100% unlimited plans are strongly recommended. We recommend adding those healthcare spending accounts and doing it in a very generous way, because it's just a tax effective way to pay for things that they're going to pay for anyway. So for example, you know, I wear glasses, and a lot of these contractors do. They wear glasses. I bought a, you know, I used this example yesterday, but when I got my new glasses, I bought 3 pair, because I want one for my home office, one for my office, and 1 pair for my briefcase. So I never have to worry about where my glasses are. So the 3 pair of glasses cost me $1,800, right? That's a tax deductible expense to my business if it's covered under my benefit plan. And in this particular case, you know, when you've got a healthcare spending account that's got enough funds in it, great. It's a tax deductible expense to the business, and the benefit is received tax-free. The business owner, the contractor in this case, is paid for his or her glasses using tax effective dollars. And the other thing is, you know, especially you get this quote a lot, or question a lot. Well, I don't need benefits because my wife has a great plan, or I don't need benefits because my husband has a fantastic plan. Whatever the circumstances are, you go, great. Well, you know what? Healthcare spending accounts are always the last payer, right? So it doesn't matter how good your partner's plan is or your spouse's plan is. It doesn't matter how good it is. There's still an opportunity for things, because they don't cover 100% of the twins' braces. For example, they don't cover you for 3 CPAP machines because you live in 3 different houses. They don't cover you for, you know, other things. You may max out on your paramedical services. So healthcare spending account is a great way to add on to a plan, especially if your spouse has a plan. It's important to know that. Benefits form part of compensation. Benefits form part of the compensation with your clients. They, you know, with prospects and with your clients. And in the building and trades and construction industry, all they do is they look at cost per hour. They really just look at cost per hour. And it's interesting. We had a guy doing some work at our house recently during this renovation, and we redid the deck and put in a glass railing and so on. And I was talking to this guy, really great guy. He was getting paid $65 an hour. I don't even know what they were charging. The contractor was charging me, but this guy was getting paid $65 an hour. He was an incredible carpenter, did a great job, but you know, it just blew me away. That's what costs are today, and benefits are part of compensation. So $65 an hour versus $67 an hour, not a significant change, right? Benefits are part of compensation. Getting the client to think about it from that perspective, it's just $1 per hour or $2 per hour. It's a powerful tool. And the other thing is, you know, this is the builder's benefit plan. Great. Be creative with clients when designing the plan. As Rob was mentioning, use, you know, what are the groups within the group? Let's talk about your foreman, people or 4 persons. I don't know what the woke term is. I apologize. I don't mean to offend anybody, but let's look at your site supervisors. Let's look at people that have been there year over year over year, or come back every summer. Whatever the circumstances are, be creative when designing a plan. The more creative you are, the more or the less of an opportunity someone else is going to come along and knock on the door and take this plan away from them. You think about it, you've got 6 employees, you can have 3 different classes. That's not an issue. Gord Cowan's with us today, and Gord has been one of the more creative people, without a doubt, in his career with respect to benefit plan design and so on. And as a result of that, it becomes very sticky. The more, wouldn't you say, Gord? You listening? Oh, you're muted.
My wife did that, I'm sure, but anyways, it's the differentiation. Everybody has health, everybody has dental benefits. It's these little nuances that eventually, my belief is, my clients on average 12 plus years, as many as 40. The discussion was never around rates. It was all about the value addeds and that we help our clients with. So
yeah, it's those value addeds and those things that make things sticky. All of a sudden, you're putting on that, you're linking on that $5,000 healthcare spending account, or you're linking on a healthcare spending account based on years of service for the employees. It keeps them coming back. It makes it more difficult for them to leave. Thanks, Gord. I really appreciate your input. So, when you think about it, it's really about creating something unique for your client, and they're creating it themselves. You're giving them the tools, using their language. You're giving them the tools to build a solution that makes sense for them, and it can be changed at any time. But most importantly than that, you're giving them the ease of budget, the ease of creating their own budget right on the spot, as opposed to having to go back and forth. Generally speaking, these builders don't have time for you to come back and forth 3 or 4 different times and look at proposals. They've got 10 employees, they're on the job, they're busy folks. So it's important to be able to answer their questions effectively and quickly, and help them grasp the concept by using English language that they understand, and help them make decisions going forward. So we've been together about 52 minutes now. We've got a couple of minutes left, but I think it's important to understand where the client is going. The best question to do that, to really understand where the client is going, is asking those future-based questions. If we were meeting here 3 years from today, and you're looking back over those 3 years, what has to have happened for you to say it's been the best 3 years of your life? Clients are going to give you an answer. They're going to give you very specific answers. They're going to tell you where they're going. And then the next opportunity is, what do you want to promise your employees, right? This is what other builders have found important. These are the mandatory benefits. What do you want to promise your employees? And then the plans, the 100% plans work really well for owners. It's as simple as that. So let me stop sharing. I know there's been a lot of chat in the chat box. I know, Mike, you've been busy, and Carrie, hopefully you've been busy answering some of these questions. There's 60 people on the call, or 57 people on the call. Any questions, thoughts, ideas? Do you think we're crazy? Let's get some feedback. Let's get some discussion going. We've got a few minutes. Anybody? Hello?
Nope.
I'll talk.
Hi, Karen.
Hi there. Rob, I just wanted to tell you, I think this is a really, really great idea. Good marketing. The per hour thing definitely works in this industry. That's how these people talk, for sure. So I dumped a bunch of questions into the Q&A chat, and Mike's been busy answering them. One of my big questions about this is, do you perceive this to be sort of an in to maybe other industries for those of us? I'm not in the P&C industry, but have you thought about that and marketing this to maybe P&C brokerages who also have benefits? Just a question.
To P&C brokerages that also have benefits?
Yeah, like the P&C brokerages that offer benefits consulting.
Yes, we certainly will be talking to, we've identified a number of P&C shops that work aggressively in the construction building industry, without a doubt, and we are reaching out to them. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, my other question comment that I wanted to make is, I don't think I got an answer in the chat. The Q&A that's in the chat, is that going to be released to the participants after? Because there's a really lot of good answers in there that
I'd like to be able to have access to later.
Okay, I don't know how we do that, but Karen, let's find out a way.
Yeah, I think we could, we can make that happen. It's being recorded. I can find the transcripts and I'll look into that for sure.
Yeah, that would be great because the answers coming up are really good.
Yeah, we'll
Perfect.
certainly do our best to accommodate that, Karen.
Okay, great. And again, thank you. This is really exciting. I think you have a good idea.
And I got to tell you something as well. I wanted to share that I didn't share. We are going to be, the Benefits Trust, the Builders Benefit Plan, are going to be participating in a trade show in Toronto. It's the biggest trade show that they have for this particular industry. It is happening the end of November. And that's when, quote unquote, this big launch is going to take place. We don't sell direct. We work with advisors like yourself. We are going to be, participating in this. We are going to be handing out, little pamphlets and builder's pencils with our name on them and so on, and our telephone number. When we get leads, we are going to be giving them to people that support us. As simple as that, right? This is something that is, I think, ripe, folks. This is something that's ripe for your industry. Talk to your local building associations. Talk to, we've talked to different people about this, different advisors about this. And one of the things that's interesting is they're going, this is, fantastic. I can now buy the pickup truck I've always wanted to buy, right? They're joking about that, but it's, it's an opportunity to, it's an opportunity to do something different, right? And do it in a different way. Put on some work boots. Hop on the job strike. Market to these folks. There's a question from Rick Thompson that just came in. What other industry or what industries are eligible? Well, the fact of the matter is any industry is eligible as long as they build something. We build benefit plans. We're interested. We can sign up for this. If you build sandwiches or lunch, it doesn't really matter. We're just focusing on the builder's benefit industry right now, the building trades and construction industry, because there's such a huge gap right now. There's such an underserved market in Ontario. I don't know, Ken Armstrong is with us today. Ken, you live in Milton, and one of the fastest growing regions in the GTA, or in Canada for that matter. Milton is just exploding. It used to be a whistle stop on 401 when you're going to London, but now it's a part of the city, and it's one of the fastest growing communities. How many construction trades are you seeing in Milton right now, Ken? When you drive around? Unmute. Ken, unmute. There we go. How much? What are you seeing in Milton?
Okay. Well, basically, you'll see lots of contractors, whether they're 1 to 10, and then so they're definitely, and usually you start off with the 1, 2, 3 man shops, and then they're going to grow. If they're good, they're going to be in business, and they're going to grow up to 10 or 15, and then they'll cap out at that. So I mean, it's a great starter plan. Many of my group plans have started off with a small group, and they've grown, to 10, a dozen. You just don't go out and necessarily pick up groups that are 20 livers, from that standpoint. So start out with the small ones. It's like shooting squirrels, and then oddly, eventually you're going to shoot a few bears. So
yeah, but there's certainly lots of contractors roaming around in Milton right now. It's amazing on how much.
Oh, yeah.
So has anybody ever heard the expression, you only see what you're looking for? You only see what you're looking for. Like, for example, I've got 3 kids. My son Rob is with us today. He's 29. But when you find out you're in my case, when I found out my wife was pregnant, all you do is you see people walking around with strollers. And you're going, my gosh, everybody's having babies. But I don't see those now. Right. But take your blinders off. Think about the builder's benefit plan. Go out and buy a coffee, go out and on your next call, whatever it is, and see how many contractors, see how many trucks with names on them you see. And it'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. There's prospects at every red light. Right. So think about it from that perspective. Think about a way of communicating with these folks. They're going to learn about this. They're going to understand this. And they're going to be able to make decisions real quick. We've spent an hour together, folks. Thank you for your input. Thanks for the chat box chatter. Karen and everybody will do our best to figure out a way to transcribe this. This is going to be recorded, or this is being recorded, and it's going to be shared on our website. Thank you all very much for participating. Check out the website, thebenefitstrust.com, for additional information. If you want your name on the PDF, just send a note to Rob or Mike, and we'd be happy to accommodate those for you. This is just an easy product to sell. Give it a try. We're going to send you an email with a CE certificate. Mike is on that, aren't you, Mike? Mike?
I most certainly am.
Mike is on that, which is awesome. He's going to be sending you a CE certificate. We're going to send you a very short survey. Fill it out, send us back, tell us how we did, tell us how we can do it better tomorrow. Simple as that. Thanks for your time. Hope to see you on future Zoomcasts. And if we're doing business together, thanks for your continued business. If we are not doing business together, we would love to do business with you. Thanks again for your time, and have a fantastic day.